All right, Toby, what is your prediction for the Beasts of Karn?
This is some, old school Star Trek ass shit, where they have Buzz Lightyear in this gladiator-style battle against a bunch of different beasties, including, space lions. They got this man in a toga. They gave him a spear. And then his final battle is with the Beast of Karn. Will he survive? I don't fucking know. Probably.
That is once again a really cool concept for an episode.
Hey, I know this thing has ended probably 20 years ago. Hey writers, hire me.
23 years ago, you're here for the reboot.
Hell yes. Get me on there, coach.
Hello, and welcome to Infinity and Rewind, a Buzz Lightyear of Star Command rewatch, review, contextualization podcast. I'm your co-host, Victor.
I'm your other co-host, Toby.
And I'm Alexander. I'm also here.
So, this week we watched Beasts of Karn.
The Beasts of Karn.
The Beasts of Karn. So, what do you think?
So, I think, sort of starting off, it's a very interesting episode. The animation definitely was, it was nice, it was tight, very silly, little all over the place, but story-wise, but, you get introduced to a really fun character, and I'm pretty sure this is a combination of both, the first half of Jurassic Park and the last half of, The Greatest Game.
The Most Dangerous Game, I believe?
Most Dangerous Game.
Well, why don't you explain, what happens in it then?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, the story starts off, the gang has a distress signal that they're trying to get a hold of. Well, no, not a distress signal. They are trying to figure out why they have not heard back from this research station that's been basically dead silent for a while. And so Buzz kind of just rams into this planet and dives headfirst into a swamp after ramming several different insectoid creatures.
And getting his ship ripped apart by several bat-like, I would say.
Some things. And so the gang jumps out, only to be immediately kind of swarmed by the fauna. And as they are being swarmed, this kind of giant robot thing comes out, only to reveal that it is the researcher, who is a pretty lady that the boys really like.
Dr. Ozma Furbana, our newest recurring character.
Yeah.
And we also get a little bit of Booster being so into animals and wanting a pet so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So she leads them back to her research station where she is telling them, you cannot kill these things. It will literally fuck up the ecosystem so badly. And there's these fucking poachers that are fucking up the ecosystem incredibly badly.
I want to add, when she goes up to them, she doesn't recognize them as space rangers at first. She does think that they're posters and is about to kill them.
Yeah, they're we come in peace. You can leave in pieces.
She is so ready to murder him. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
It is also canon that Karn is a nature preserve. Basically, everything on that planet is considered endangered.
Yes.
Because it's only endemic to that planet. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So now that they know that she's fine, the reason that she hasn't been able to contact anybody is because she just hasn't gotten the chance to fix the communication system. They're like, okay, well now we're really stuck and we need to leave. And she says yeah, good luck with that. These creatures out here, I love them to pieces. They will eat you. But there's a good 30-minute window that you could probably pull your ship out of the muck and leave. And they're like, great, we'll keep an eye out for that. And so once that window opens up, they go out, they're trying to get the ship. As they're trying to pull the ship out of the muck,
they leave XR Booster there specifically to do that while the other three go off to fix the communications.
Yes. Booster is suddenly sucked up into the most ratty little spaceship I've ever seen in my life. And he is abducted by poachers.
They think he's an animal because they see him swimming around chasing something and they just see the top of his head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, they suck him out of his suit. because he tries to magnetize the feet to the ship that they're trying to get out of the muck.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's just in his underwear and the entire episode.
God, yeah. So he's brought into the spaceship that is full of cages of other very violent creatures and is trying to figure out a way out while everybody else is trying to figure out where Booster went.
Mm-hmm.
And so while he's up in that ship...
Where Booster went and if he got eaten.
And if he got eaten.
Ozma is convinced that no, he didn't, because you would see like gore and violence if he had.
There's not enough floating guts.
And honestly, that's a fair assumption to make.
I do want to add that before the rest of the team finds out that Booster somehow went missing on XR's watch, because why would XR be watching him? He's a grown man. They had gone to her communications device to see like what the issue was. It was the fact that like one of the insects that she had been watching like since it burst out of its host's chest had laid eggs in the dish.
Yeah, made a nest up there. It was a gut-sucking egg devil. And it's eating its mate currently. Her name is Jessica, I think.
We love that.
I love Jessica.
And they and while they're there, Buzz gets the idea like, why don't we just like increase the signal so that it can actually reach space even with the creature there. And this is just a joke, but it's a joke that I had to point out because I will be in so much trouble if I don't. He accidentally makes the signal strength too big, so too good, so it connects to Planet Z, where the little jingle plays saying "Radio Free Planet Z."
Yeah, they connect to the Planet Z radio station.
Awesome.
And he has to like tone it back, but in doing so, they see that like the tags that Ozma had put onto her animals are leaving the atmosphere, meaning they're currently being poached.
So they run to follow those tags. And so while that's happening, Booster is trying to escape in his underwear, and he manages to sort of MacGyver his way out for a minute.
He does like see one of the tags on the animals and uses it to like specifically send a code saying, "I am in space, please bring a suit."
Yes.
To repeat this message, please press star. Or
Please
something.
bring suit. Cold.
Cold.
But before that, so like, he does meet the guy who's doing the poaching, who's literally just like alien abduction style tractor beaming animals off the planet. It is a con man that they have apparently met before named Rentwhistle Swack. And Swack's just like, oh, great, a space ranger. I guess we'll just dump you on some other planet after we get done with this. Bye.
The others on the planet were originally looking for Booster, but then because they heard the signal, they decide, okay, actually he's over with the poachers, so now we can both like team up to go after them. And Buzz is very clearly trying to flirt with Furvana. She is not having any of it because he is way too much of a egotistical musclehead.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Booster on the ship, on the mothership, as it were, because the ship that he's on is just being taken to a different location to sell the poached animals to actual, like, black market hunters, I guess?
Like big game hunters.
Yeah.
And they see Booster and they're just like, actually, I want to hunt that one. There's something about this thing that I want to just shoot.
Yeah, they muzzle him so he can't reveal that he's a sentient person that talks.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, wow, you had to muzzle him? He must be real fucked up. I want to kill him.
I want his pelt on my fireplace or something.
And Sock's like, I don't want that. And then they offer him a lot of money. And he's like, actually, here you go.
He just, like, lets them, like, have at it while he escapes.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it runs past Buzz while he's trying to escape and gets pulled over. Booster, meanwhile, is having to fight for his life.
Being hunted for literal sport.
Most dangerous game style by this weird kind of bug-esque big southern Texan big game hunter who came here to shoot something he's not supposed to. A British fox hunter alien?
Yeah.
And some little shark gremlin.
Another thing in the list of things.
This episode's so full of things.
It's so full of things.
It's easy to tell how you can confuse a alien species for one of these, like, animals from Karn, honestly, considering how they all look.
Yeah.
That's so valid. So, they get a hold of Schwack. They basically, like, try to get him to tell where the hell Booster's at. And manage to get the information to where he is. And he is in that weird chrome forest.
It's like they recreated a jungle, but they didn't bother to make it a real jungle. It's all metal and chrome and shit.
Easier to maintain. It's just got dusted. You don't have to worry about watering it and rusting out the floor that you're using to prevent space from getting in.
God.
It is out in space.
That's fair.
So true. So they finally get to the place where Booster's being hunted for sport.
Booster's doing some, like, survival man shit, like hiding in the mud. They have mud, but
Yeah.
But they had a waterfall because
yeah.
the fox hunting one throws a heat-seeking lance or something at him. Spear. So the water is super cold, so he kind of just like dives into the water so that it can't detect his heat.
He's doing some like predator shit.
Yeah, he was also hiding in a big pile of mud.
I don't remember that personally, but I was not necessarily paying attention. I was doing homework at the same time.
That's fair.
He hides in a pile of mud, and he manages to outwit all of these hunters to be finally saved by the gang.
He does almost get caught at the very end.
Yeah.
But the team manages to show up just in time because it's a cartoon. Of course, they had to do it at the last moment.
Oh, yeah.
They bring them back to Karn for some reason.
Yeah.
And Booster's just very ready to, like, have them all arrested because he is the one who almost died.
True.
Yeah.
Understandable.
They re-released the animals. They threatened to throw the book at Swack, and he has a mental breakdown about it.
And instead, Buzz decides, actually, I think you guys can just do community service working for Fabana. And they all realize, oh shit, we're gonna get eaten by animals.
I think we only ever see Swack again, so I assume they all got eaten.
Yeah. And that is the episode.
Yay!
Yay!
It was definitely a fun one.
I guess we will head to the intermission then.
Yay!
See you after break.
Hello, and welcome to the intermission.
Hi.
This week, we don't have a quiz.
Oh.
We're actually doing something fun that I kind of put together recently, which is creating your Buzz Lightyear Sona.
Okay.
It is one of those, like, species based on your birth month, what's your job, kind of things. So, shall we begin?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right.
What's the first prompt?
What species are you based on your birth month? When were you born?
I was born in November.
You are a Shragarakian.
Oh.
You haven't seen these guys yet, but I'm going to show you a picture. They're fuzzy.
Oh my god, those are
They're like werewolf guys.
Yeah.
They're like if Teddy Ruxpin got a little mashed.
With what?
Just itself.
Yeah. Teddy Ruxpin grew out his hair.
Yeah.
So what about for December?
That
For mine.
tracks.
December, you are a robot or android.
Yay! We totally didn't make this specifically for me for that one.
Yeah, I crafted it a little bit to our personal tastes because I can.
So what about
I am the god of this world.
Yeah. So what about your birth month?
April, I am a Rhizomian.
Ooh.
We know what those guys are. Now here's where it gets a little more objective.
Okay.
What is your favorite color?
Pink.
You are a politician.
Oh god.
Good job,
You can be a representative,
Senator.
a senator,
The royal of a planet. If you
royalty,
wanted.
diplomat. You're one of those guys.
I didn't think my Vampire the Masquerade game would follow me here. Awesome.
What about you, hon?
Blue.
You are a civilian, aka you get to pick your job.
Yay!
For me, I'm green. I'm a natural scientist.
Nice.
So I do stuff with animals or plants or whatever.
Ooh.
And now, one moment, I need to grab a D6.
Toby.
We have already done ours.
Oh,
I want to
boy.
roll
Oh, boy.
again.
Okay.
Should we do like a little dice ASMR?
Roll your D6. What's your deal?
I got a 2.
You are mutated by strange materials or experiments.
Oh god. I am so fucked.
All right, honey. Shall you roll?
Mhm.
You are also mutated by strange materials or experiments.
Let's
As a robot?
I mean,
I guess werewolf.
yeah.
That's just werewolf's whole deal, huh?
But-
Oh no! You dropped it.
Mulligan.
Where'd it go?
I don't know.
It's too small. We'll get it later.
I'm just gonna say I rolled a 1. None of these. You could be totally normal.
Oh, you see it?
Yep.
I don't want to roll over it.
It's a 4!
It's a 4. Well, it's 4 then.
Altered or possessed by strange planetary wildlife in the present or past. Now we have our Blosksonas.
Ooh.
It's on my Tumblr, so feel free to make yours.
We will link it in the description.
Yes.
Or at least try to remember to. If we don't, then leave a comment and Victor will fix it as soon as they can.
Yes.
Are you happy with your Blosksona, Toby?
I do not know what happened to me. I'm fucked. I am so fucked up.
You get to... The world is your oyster as long as you have been mutated.
Oh my god.
That just happens often enough in the series.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a thing.
Yeah, like, everyone gets mutated at least once in the series, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Except for XR, technically. But, well, no, I mean, I guess if you're counting TAD, then he was mutated from the start.
Yeah.
That's a good way to phrase it.
Beautiful.
Okay, so should we get back to the episode proper?
Yes.
Let's get back to it.
Alright, see ya.
Alright, welcome back.
Welcome back.
What'd you think?
I thought it was a very fun episode. A very reference-heavy episode. From different character concepts to, like, different kind of story beats to, like, things that happen that some of the characters do. It's definitely, like I was saying, very first half of Jurassic Park. A little Alien-esque. Very much references to, like, Most Dangerous Game and Predator.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of neat. I kind of really love that.
Yeah, there will be references through other sci-fi things as we go out, as we continue in the series.
This one was very heavy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm surprised they didn't reference?
Hmm.
Terminator. Because Dr. Ozma Furban is voiced by Linda Hamilton, aka Sarah Connor.
Really?
Yeah!
That's crazy!
Do they do that in any of the other episodes she appears in?
I don't know. She's only in 3 episodes. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe her, like, because she had that suit at the beginning, that could have been a reference.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but that's really cool. Holy shit, they got Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
So speaking of, what do you think of Ravana?
I think she is a lot of fun. She definitely has, like, a Sigourney Weaver sort of vibe to her.
Mm-hmm. I really appreciate that she did not put up with Buzz and his nonsense and his typical way of talking down to people.
Oh,
yeah. She knows more than him, and she knows it.
We love that.
Since this is, in part, a recontextualization of, like, the fandom and stuff, I do want to point out, back in the day, people hated Ozma.
Really?
Yeah, it was, like, a very, like, how dare she be mean to our boy characters kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Because they thought that she was, like, oh, she's too cold, she's too frigid, like, what a bitch kind of idea of her.
Ah, yes.
But
Old classic fandom bullshit.
But now that I'm an adult and super gay, I can safely say, no, Ozma's good.
She's good, and she's also, like, designed to be really, really hot because they do that to women characters in this show a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They go out of their way to make them hot and comment on the fact that they're hot. Like, she's very curvaceous. She's got, like, the full lipstick and eyeshadow thing.
Mm-hmm.
And short hair, which is very nice. She's busty and curvy.
Mm-hmm.
And XR is such a huge fucking pervert about it.
I do want to clarify to anyone who is going to be weird at us, I am a guy. I'm gay for men. Do not think she's hot personally, but I can appreciate her as a character.
I can say objectively she's designed to be really hot. They keep talking. They keep, like, panning down her.
She also has park ranger vibes, which you're into.
Yes.
Oh, actually, yeah. No, she definitely has, like, that vibe of, like, sort of the classic design that you would see for women in, like, those old adventure novels.
Oh, you're right. Just put, like, one of those weird safari hats on her.
Yes. Give her a book to read out of, and then maybe some, like, cat eye glasses, and then she's set.
She is the most nerdy character in a, like, actually has an interest in, like, a specific scientific field kind of way in the series.
And I think that's really cool. I think that's really fun, and especially with this being, like, her kind of introduction and having that nod to, like, a classic sort of adventure horror short story.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I love Ozma in this episode, and I think the next episode she appears in.
When they first get to her, like, research station and they go inside, and she mentions how, like, the ones that the monsters that they had to fight past to, like, get to the station are the nice ones. The ones that are worse will come out at night, which is why they have to stay the night and wait till the next day to fix their ship and leave. Mm-hmm. And I think it was XR or Mira, I don't remember which one specifically, asks, like, what did you do to, like, get assigned to this? And she answers, I volunteered. They ask her, why would you want to help, like, save these creatures? And she says preservation doesn't mean just saving the cute ones, which is a good lesson to learn because it's a thing that a lot of people like still ignore to this day for like conservation efforts. They only they don't pay attention to these, the slimier ones or the small like parasitic ones. They only care about the cute ones.
Yeah.
Which, speaking about those like creature designs, I really do think it's fun and interesting that a lot of them are insectoid. Very reminiscent of like a lot of weird parasitic bugs and mantis sort of habits.
Yeah, the gut-sucking egg devil in particular is very mantis-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a planet where literally everything is a carnivore, so having a majority of them be insects of some sort, I only have a vague knowledge of how animal kingdom works, but that makes sense to me for some reason.
A lot of bugs are omnivorous, like
Mhm.
omnivorous to an
Mhm.
extent, so it makes sense. You also get like bats, that weird fucking eyeless T-Rex thing with like the sensory pits on its face. I love that thing.
Yeah.
The slime beast that gets into the ship that like refracts lasers with its goo
Yeah.
and rips Xr to pieces.
God, that's so funny.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
I guess adult jokes watch, the weird horniness watch of like XR like slavering over Ozma when she first like takes off the robot suit and like, oh, if we're staying the night, do we need to cuddle for warmth? I've got 3 settings, warm, hot, and Tex-Mex.
Insane.
Awful.
That's terrible. But my God, what a joke.
Yeah.
What do we think of the other newly introduced character, Rent Whistle Swack?
I'll be so honest, I was expecting him to have more of like an outback, like Bogan-esque accent with the way that he was designed.
He is French Stewart.
He is French Stewart.
He's French?
I don't know, maybe a little Creole, possibly? Who knows? Yeah, no, he's just a random con man. I don't know why he's doing this. I guess it's pretty easy to poach things if you don't ever have to touch or interact with them, and you can just tractor beam them into a cage.
So true.
And also it's a plan that like only literally one person is on there to protect the animals because everyone else is just like, these are scary, we don't want to touch them.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's real easy to steal things if you're not within a mile of the person who's wanting you to not steal them.
So true.
What do you think of the name Rent Whistle and surname Swack?
Man, these names are getting wild. I kind of am curious, like, at some point, I want to see if I can find any research on why they chose some of the names that they did for some of these characters, because they're a little wild, and I'm not quite sure where they come up with some of these.
I know some of them are because they are space terms or science terms in general.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Rent Whistle or Swack.
No idea.
Some of them are just because they sound like alien names and or sound like criminal alien names specifically. Like, would you think that if you knew the series was a sci-fi series,
Yeah.
would you think that the character Rent Whistle would be like a good guy?
More like, I expect him to be like if Easy Pete was just somewhere out in space.
I will also say Rent Whistle is not a general term. Like, you look it up, the first thing that comes up is Mr. Swack.
Oh.
That could be your Google algorithm messing with you, though. We'll worry about that later, though.
Yeah. He does appear in 2 more episodes, so we'll see.
Hmm.
He is, like, topping out on, like, a certain level of scummy villain chart in that if you pay him enough, he will let you unknowingly hunt a sentient person for sport. I mean, it kills 2 birds with 1 stone for him.
It was a space cop that he was trying to get murdered, but
I'm
Yeah.
sure he would have done it to anybody else.
they were so rude to Pervana the entire episode.
Yeah, they're just huge assholes to her. Like, cops are assholes.
She says, hey, don't shoot these animals. They're like, but it's in my way.
Oh, it's scary.
It's a scary little thing.
It's just ripping our friend to pieces. I want to shoot it.
Buzz has to finally decide, okay, well, we can't actually shoot it because it's just deflecting our lasers. So I guess we'll just like trap it in the hallway.
I think that's definitely one of the ways that they can get away with shooting these things other than making them a robot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they just like, keep insulting her animals or like her refusing to understand why she would want to save these animals and whatnot. And just, they're very rude to her. They don't understand her special interests.
Buzz is at least sort of halfway trying to by the end.
Yeah.
Mhm. He's trying to like see eye to eye with her. Like clearly she knows her stuff and clearly like she has a passion for this and you know, she is objectively right. If she doesn't try to save these creatures, then no one will.
Yeah, and he thinks she's cute.
And so he's trying to impress her. He is also still a dick to her, though.
Yeah, she is a recurring romantic interest for Buzz. And I think out of the 3 romantic interests we get for Buzz, probably the best.
Okay.
But he treats them all like shit.
God damn it.
She is the only one that he, like, reciprocate. Or not reciprocate. Like, he's the one who, like, is interested in her, to be fair.
That's true. She's the only one he's interested in. The other ones are interested in him.
Yeah, and anyone else that he ever showed an interest in was off screen or just that little bit with Sally in the beginning of Gravatina. And never again after that with her. It's just like, no, that's a service worker, Buzz. You can't flirt with her.
Yeah. I'm just realizing that Ozma is like the ideal manic pixie dream girl.
To him?
Yeah, to Buzz. She's off on some planet alone doing weird shit. She doesn't really reciprocate his feelings.
She has a pixie cut rather than weirdly dyed hair because everyone else has weirdly dyed hair in this world.
Yeah. She's got a pixie cut.
All that's missing is for him to, like, have, like, this monologue at her and then he's set.
I mean, he technically does later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
What did you think of the hunters?
They were very funly designed. I think the fox hunter probably was my favorite of the designs, but the little gremlin shark was buck wild.
I don't think the gremlin shark makes it into the video game, but I believe they don't give him a name. The bug from the bayou of Beta Hard 4 or something like that is what they call him in the episode, but I think he makes it into the video game as a villain. Another thought I had during this episode, which is like entirely unrelated from the episode itself, which is I just thought it'd be kind of a fun topic of discussion for the show itself, is so many of these characters are fucking impossible to cosplay.
Yeah.
You try and get somebody in a booster costume, unless it's like professionally made mascot costume, it's not gonna work.
So true. So true.
It's very much like one of those shows that benefits from being animation, that they can like do designs like this. It's like how Star Wars cartoon versions will always have like more fun designs for characters that are either not implemented in the movie proper or like are badly implemented in the form of CGI.
Yeah, they're very like exaggerated. Obviously there's a lot of human-y and humanoid characters, but like one half of the main crew are impossible to cosplay.
That's very true.
Without a humanization of some kind.
It's very true. But I would love to see, because like, you know, speaking of Star Wars, they have like the 501st, which is their like semi-professional cosplay group, and they do pull off like amazing cosplays.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the 501st try and do one of these guys. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, like it's entirely like not impossible. It's definitely weighted on the fact that it's a cartoon that they can just like draw whatever they want more so than like having to figure out like what practical effects they could put on an actor or like what CGI they're going to have to slip into a show if it were live action.
For sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. Like I was just thinking about like if you were to do XR, you'd basically have to make a puppet and be like the puppet guy, or like a roll around Star Wars style, like R2D2, R2D2, and like have his head on, you know, a little see-through post or something.
That would actually be a really fun thing. Man, I'm trying to think of like how big, like XR is going to be huge. It's going to be great.
XR's like 4 feet tall.
I was imagining like putting like a child like in that costume and just like rolling them around.
Cramming him in there like they did with the original R2D2. That was just a guy in there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
No, I mean like for like if a parent were to take their child to a convention and want their child to be in cosplay, and then they just like make this little costume for them to be in.
Get in the can, Timmy.
Good Lord.
I was partially thinking about it because, like, I've seen people, including myself for years, try to conceptualize, like, a No Sore 2 cosplay, and that's fucking impossible unless you make a real bad mask and just pretend he has legs.
Yep.
So you gotta go the humanization route on that. I'm thinking tabard, which just made me think, how would you cosplay any of these characters that aren't like obvious. Like obviously Mira is like a wig and blue paint, but like
Well, just kind of going off of like what I know and what would probably be the most fun. I think Zerg would probably be that good in between like you are not going to be able to make that, and you are just putting blue paint on yourself. Because with Zerg specifically, you could probably make like some really good armor. There's already like a bunch of really cool helmet sort of design that you can make with it.
he's got the cloak.
He's got the cloak.
You could very easily just make like the teeth part of his mask into like the like stuff that you can see through, like that they put on mascot head eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you basically build him the way you would like a toy Zerg, I guess.
If you wanted to get really fancy with it, there's tons of people who now with their TV heads have it so like it'll react to like different movements or like sound and everything. But that's if you're getting real fancy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's who I would cosplay if I had the time and money to, just because that would be really fun.
I found a photo,
Uh-huh.
which is me, age 15-ish,
Mm-hmm.
14 or 15, having created my own Space Ranger suit out of foam.
Oh, awesome. That's actually pretty good.
I didn't seal the foam first, so I used so much spray paint to get it not to just soak directly in. But that is age 15. I think the boots are done with like green duct tape and paint.
Oh, that's innovation.
As a quick aside, I do like that you showed it to the microphone as if people would be able to see it.
It's fine. I literally like cut out the logo out of paper and like Mod Podged it onto the front.
I tried to make like a humanization XR like costume to wear to school like on the last day just for fun, and my mom was like, no.
No.
Because her justification was that it's summer in Florida, please do not wear that to school. It is a long sleeve like sweater and sweatpants, and her real reason was, no, that's ugly as shit. Take that off.
I was gonna say the first part, fair. I wore that to school on Halloween in my freshman year of high school, and let's just say there were 2 other people in costume.
Oh. But now I'm thinking about it, hey, if there's any like Blosk fans that are cosplayers or have cosplay this stuff, you should definitely send that our way so we can talk about it. I'd love to see your work or your past work.
Yes, please. I would love to see what people have done in the past.
The email is mercurymelonyt@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I guess, do we have anything else to discuss?
I will say, I do love that the creatures on Karn will eat others of their own kind, because not even including Jessica, we did see like a couple slugs like swim out of the water as XR was coming out of the water, and one of them did just turn to the other and bite its neck and drag it away.
Oh, yes. On that same flavor, I want to shout out the bit where Booster is like desperately trying to keep one of these things as a pet. And he's got one hidden in his suit. And Buzz is like, you got to get rid of that thing. And he's like, I'll take care of it. I'll pet it. I'll feed it. I'll clean up after it. And Ozma just goes, you'll feed it once. That is a brain-eating slug. And he just, like, chucks it outside.
It is a recurring thing, and it will be a recurring thing to everyone's detriment, that Booster really wants a pet.
Booster really, really, really wants a pet. He fails to understand that strange animals don't make good pets.
It'll come to him in a dream.
On that note, honey, would you like to share your idea for a better Ozma Furmana ship than Ozma Buzz?
Ozma and Booster!
Oh.
I thought about this the other day, and I remember mentioning it. Yeah, I think, like, Booster could stand to learn some actual, like, animal responsibility. He's so used to, like, farm animals, where they're all domesticated, I guess, that he could really stand to learn about it, but he's so interested in it. He loves animals and plants and stuff. I think he'd get a huge kick out of it, and I think Ozma would love the enthusiasm.
Hell yeah.
I think they'd work well together.
And I think Booster's just, like, kind enough and sincere enough. It would actually help Ozma to learn people skills and not instantly assume everyone's just, like, a jerk.
Yeah, they'd fix each other.
They'd fix each other.
Because Ozma of a note also just has terrible social skills. She doesn't like people. She doesn't like being around people.
She doesn't admit that in the show.
Yeah. She's just like, nah, I'll hang out with the animals, thanks.
When they find out Booster's missing and they don't know where he is, they just know that he's like somewhere in the jungle without his suit on and just running around in his underwear, and they don't know why. She's like, well, what about my animals? They're gonna like be taken away and I'm never gonna see them again. And Buzz has to be like, lady, are you saying that your animals are more important than like an actual human person? Or not human, but you know what I mean.
An actual person. She's like, oh, sorry. Anyway. It's...
I
We love
mean,
it.
you know, we are bringing fandom into this podcast, so.
Yeah. We've got to develop our own ships. I guess on that note, does anybody else have their own random ships they've come up with? Because for me, it's Ozma and Booster.
Don't think I have any yet.
Make up a crack ship. First 2 names you think of.
I just want to see fucking... Okay, no, actually I can't say that. I can't say that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be bad.
You're allowed to say it.
We can censor it.
Is it... Okay, I have a mute button on the microphone.
I just want to see
I'm gonna mute
Buzz
real quick.
in Warp. So, like, I don't think pegging would, like, fix Buzz, but it'll, like... I don't know, it'll do something for him.
Oh, I'm so sorry, I accidentally unmuted too soon.
It's fine.
Catch me on Mercury Melon After Dark with that one, I guess.
Oh, sorry. Our not safe for work stuff is actually called Venus Lemon.
Oh.
Yeah. So, shipping. Anyway.
Where can we find you?
Yeah, where can we find you, Toby?
Other than Mercury Melon After Dark. Hello, it's me once again, the editor of the podcast, Alexander. Once again, here to update the social media information since the current. So you can find Toby at Toby Langley on Blue Sky. You can find Victor at Python Melon on Blue Sky. And don't find me, but follow our Mercury Melon YouTube channel, support us on our Mercury Melon Patreon, and if you have any fun facts about the fandom of your involvement or anything you might know lore-wise, or any corrections you might want to send us, email those to mercurymelonyt@gmail.com.
All right. I guess what is our closing phrase?
A scab.
All space cops are bastards.
A scab.
We'll see you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.